Right, okay. How are you doing, sir?
Alright.
Aye, good seeing you again.
Yes, indeed, aye.
So,
Where did it all start then, eh?
aye, well, like see for me, mod revival's got a lot to.
Aye, that was the catalyst for everything, really. I mean, getting into the jam, you know, and I went down probably like going to the concerts. Like then it would be the specials, the jam, Secret Affair, and I'd bump into these guys for Trinent. Well, I'd seen these guys, you'd started noticing the same guys going to the same concerts, and started chatting away with some of these guys, and they said to us, look, there's some soul nights on through where we stay, right? And you were starting to get interested in like the soul music and stuff at that time anyway, and going through there, hooking up with guys for Trinent, and it was like a different scene, because you had a whole village, and they were all into, not only into soul music, the jam, soul music, and scooters.
It's a tight community. There was absolutely nothing in Kirkcaldy. So the mod, loads of punks, which I never got any. My hair was my back and stuff like that. And then the mod revival comes along at the back when the back of the Jam's first couple of albums. So I'm at school, still at school then, and there's a guy called Bong. The famous Bong. So he used to come to school with a red pot by hat on and get expelled every second day sort of thing. Leaving school, he bought a scooter. He must have got it for I think he got it for about 50 quid. He bought this Vespa Sprint for an old guy.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like me and my brother John, him and his brother Graham, who became Lurch, and we're on to the mod thing, But he was only one scooter, so he's running about on this scooter for a wee while, and he goes, "You want to buy the Sprint off me?" Now, it didn't have a front lamp.
Mm-hmm.
He had it wired into the lamps on the
When would this be about then?
That would be about, I would say maybe 80, coming in 81 maybe, because I would be about 16 when the mod revival came about, and I would be maybe about 18 when I got my scooter. So I says, aye, so the £50, there's no profit on it, so the £50 changes hands again. I'll get you what I got it for. Rattle cans it a different colour. White wall tyres. Now it's not like now when you can buy white wall tyres and they come and you put them on. You have to go down to the auto bar, get the paint, get the tyres off, and paint them all. So you paint them all, which is you pump them up. But see if they went down, they're all crap and everything falls off. So he says, so he went and bought a lambretta. So there was two scooters on the road then, and then his brother got one. So he bought a PX. Then Bong's like, I'm going to get Bong sold the lambretta to his brother to get a PX. Spike got the PX. I then thought, right, I got a PX. Actually, it was my gran. Come in one day, and she says, because I lived with my gran at the time, she says, I've got a scooter for you. Oh aye, and it was a T-Reg PX. And I went, oh, she says, it's a newer one. You do want to be running about in that old thing that you're running about in. Clearly didn't realise what it meant. So I said, aye, great. So I sold that to my brother John, and that didn't last long because John, the ever posing the mod, he's riding through the shops looking in the windows, looking at himself in the reflections, smacked it at the back of the taxi. But so you had me, Bong, Spike, and Lurch, and John was kind of there for a wee while on the scooters. But John was the tailor mod, because we would go out, we would go aisle on our hands and stuff like that. And John would be in the boating blazers and immaculate, always immaculate. John, like, he was always the new pin, if you like.
Yeah.
And I think it was about that time, because everything was new, and you would see, hey, I seen a scooter today. I seen something on a scooter, and you'd hunt them down. And that was the first time I met Simmy. And then I think more and more people were coming into Kirkcaldy because you had Bruce's at the time.
Right.
The high street wasn't pedestrianised, so you would be able to drive along it, and outside Menzies, and obviously it was all vinyl, so you would get the records of Bruce's. John Menzies did it, Edwin Donaldson's, and the wee boxes on the counter, and you would go in and take all the stuff. And then I'm trying to think the first time that we sort of caught up with you guys, because there was guys from Glen Office coming in, you were amongst them.
Well, that was, I remember Andy Beck, he knew Simmy.
Aye.
At the time, I'd seen Andy Beck driving about on a scooter. I never had one at the time, and I got talking to Andy, and I said, look, I'm in the process of getting one, and a guy for the past, Roddy Brass, Roddy came from Edinburgh, and he was a member of the Edinburgh Blues.
Right.
Now, we were going through the Abercorn, me and Helen, that's where they had their
That was a great,
like their club night.
good club that, aye.
Plus as well, going about we were well in with the Trinent crowd at this time, and we were going down to like Soul Night All Nighters, Wigan Casino a couple of times. So it was kind of like a natural thing at the
Aye.
time, Bus Stop Cafe.
That was where we went in because they didn't throw us out. So we got in there, and actually I ended up, the lassie that worked in there, I ended up marrying her later on. But the jukebox had the Jam, it had the Kinks, it had the Ronettes and stuff like that. It was tailor made, and we were like, get some 60s on here. So we could sit in the corner, nurse our cups of tea. The scooters were able to park underneath, and then we were getting, as I say, we met Andy, and then we were meeting a few of the leaving guys coming in. Trevor, the guys started coming a wee bit later.
See, I think that, well, what I can remember is that time on the Sunday when me and Andy went down and met you and Spike.
Aye.
And you know, the gardens right across from the 101.
Aye.
Right, and it was just the way that happened. We drove in, and it was like the 4 ways of coming in, so we all come in. So we had a chat there, and that to me was the nucleus. We decided we'll form a scooter club.
Aye.
And then we all met up at the White Heather.
That's right.
And so who was at that meeting then? For our side of mine, there was me and Andy and my brother Alan.
There was on our side there would be basically the guys that were in the Kirkcaldy once. There would be 5 of us. So there would be me, Spike, my brother John, Lurch and Bong. Because there was only 5 of us.
Was Dodd no there?
Dove?
No, Dodd. Dodd from Cooper.
No, I think
was that a bit later?
That was a lot later, aye. It was a lot later. We sort of met him.
Aye.
Because that was it. We had our own wee bubble, and we were like, as I say, we were driving about Kirkcaldy and stuff like that, and then when you saw their club, and I think, like we went to Loch Lomond, it was a Sunday for the scooter rally, and that's when we realised it was clubs.
Aye.
So and I remember driving through there, whatever age I was, and it's snowing. We got to about Alloa, Stirling, and it was snowing, and it never put you off then. You're hopped up with the park car, and you blew the tyres up, put fuel in. I think I changed my gearbox oil before I went, because my uncle Ralph, who later on drove our backup vans, he was a mod in the 60s. So he said, look, what you're looking for is brass in your gearbox. So I went, and away we went.
Aye.
And I remember getting to Loch Lomond, and it was like, everything was kind of shutting down. So we were there, and I says, there's all these clubs here, and Edinburgh Blues and stuff. I says, it's a club. And then it came about, we were talking, we get to get a club together, we'll start a club. And then when we met up with you guys, it was a natural transition just to say, right, why no, 5 club, get everybody in. And at that time it was the more the merrier.
Aye.
Get as many people in as you can.
That was it,
I think so, aye. But then,
and the way of doing it is, you know, you just drove about the streets.
That's it.
The very fact of driving about the streets, that's what got people interested in
and
it.
somebody knew somebody who, there's a guy up there who's got a scooter,
And 9 times out of 10, the people that wanted to join the scooter club were, and you could say the fringes of society a lot of times. There were folk that didn't want to go out on a Saturday night just to
I remember the first time I met
cash.
Rico, and he had this wee sort of coffee coloured scooter, the stars and striped helmet, and he sort of pulled them there, right, wave them, get them down, and start talking to them, where are they fair, sort of thing,
I know. Then I think that would be about, must have been the summer '82.
Aye, I would say it would be because Whitley Bay was the first run as a club.
Yeah.
I think, 82.
Aye, but that was the first national rally we went on. But remember, we were, as like fundraisers, we'd had the Crown Hotel in Thornton.
Aye.
We were running Northern Soul All Dayers there.
That's right.
To fund the club.
Aye.
And we were, through the links that, like say, me and Helen had with Trinent, we knew the Trinent crowd. And then
They filled it.
And
they basically filled it with their
and
coach.
got to the stage, they'd have a 53-seater coach who would come through there to us, and we would go through to try and meet up to their All Dayers.
That's right.
But you know, remember, we had one of the first fundraisers we had was at the Galloway in Markinch.
I remember that.
And some boys from Edinburgh came across, right, and they parked their scooters in the back of the Galloway. So we're in there, and one of the boys from Woodside, who I knew, come in, he went, hey, Steve, there are all the guys coming scooters. We've picked them up and carried them round the corner for a laugh. And I was like, no, you really need to take them back.
Take them back.
Seriously, you need to take them back.
Great to hear from Rab and Steve there. To see part 2 and part 3, subscribe to the channel